Battlefield 1 is a first-person shooter video game developed by DICE and published by Electronic Arts. It was released worldwide for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One in October 2016. Set in the First World War, the game focuses on the infantry-focused warfare of the era, featuring a variety of weapons and vehicles from the time period. Battlefield 1 was a critical and commercial success, receiving praise for its gameplay, visuals, atmosphere, and sound design. It won numerous Game of the Year awards and is considered one of the best first-person shooters of all time. However, some fans and critics have argued that Battlefield 1 was the last true Battlefield game. They point to its focus on infantry combat, its realistic portrayal of World War I, and its lack of microtransactions as evidence to support this claim. Subsequent Battlefield games, such as Battlefield V and Battlefield 2042, have been more controversial. Battlefield V was criticized for its historical inaccuracies and its focus on microtransactions, while Battlefield 2042 has been criticized for its technical issues and its lack of content. Whether or not Battlefield 1 was the last true Battlefield game is a matter of opinion. However, there is no doubt that it was a landmark game in the franchise and that it continues to be enjoyed by players today. Here are some of the reasons why Battlefield 1 is considered by some to be the last true Battlefield game. Focus on infantry combat. Battlefield 1 is a much more infantry-focused game than its predecessors. This means that players spend more time on the ground, using rifles, machine guns, and grenades to take down enemies. This is in contrast to later Battlefield games, which have placed a greater emphasis on vehicles and gadgets. Realistic portrayal of World War I. Battlefield 1 is set in one of the most brutal and horrific wars in history, and the game does not shy away from this. The game's maps are littered with corpses, and the sound design is full of the sounds of gunfire and explosions. This makes for a very immersive and atmospheric experience. Lack of microtransactions. Battlefield 1 does not have any microtransactions. This means that players can earn everything in the game by playing it, without having to spend any real money. This is in contrast to later Battlefield games, which have been heavily monetized through microtransactions. Of course, there are also some reasons why people might not agree that Battlefield 1 is the last true Battlefield game. For example, some people might prefer the faster-paced gameplay of later Battlefield games. Others might appreciate the greater variety of vehicles and gadgets in these games. And still others might not mind the microtransactions, or they might even find them to be a necessary evil. Ultimately, whether or not Battlefield 1 is the last true Battlefield game is up to each individual player to decide. However, there is no doubt that it is a great game that is well worth playing.
We have taken objective Duff. We have taken objective Duff. Halfway there, we have the upper hand.
Hey, first aid.
We have taken objective Butter.